Good morning and welcome to Old Man Energy. For those of you who don't know, I'm your host, Flint Anderson, and this is one of the most challenging podcasts I've recorded in a long time. If you can't tell from the scene behind me, we have torn the studio apart and are moving it. Actually, we're moving in general. So there's a little chaos back there. They're currently cutting and destroying the street in front of the house because of roots in the tap at the city. So it's loud, it's noisy, and it's inconvenient, probably not the right time. But it kind of ties in with what the theme of this recording is going to be. The title of it is Tentatively Statues and Sons of Bitches. And that comes from a quote from Firefly, which everybody knows that I'm a huge Firefly and Serenity fan. In the episode Janestown, Captain Mal walks up and said, well, it's been my experience that anybody ever had a statue made of him, some sort of son of a bitch or another. And I really feel like that applies to this lesson that I want to learn, that I want to teach you guys. And I want to talk about. There's a lot of people out there online that are not who they say they are. There's a lot of fake gurus out there. There's a lot of people that are out there and they're just in it for the money. And people are going to disappoint you, but in more ways than what you think could be possible, because people in general are going to kind of disappoint you. They'll always let you down if you put your faith in somebody for a long time. You're going to have times where you disagree, or times where they don't do what you think they should do, things like that. And true friendships and true relationships get past that. They're based on integration, they're based on working together, and they're based on mutual trust, because even if they let you down, you still know that they have integrity and they let you go on. One quote that I absolutely love is, people of integrity expect to be believed, and when they're not, they let time prove them right. Well, the opposite of that is true as well. People that don't have any integrity, all you have to do is wait long enough and they're going to show their true colors, because they can only fake things for so long. There's a lot of people out there that appear to be one thing online, and don't say younger people, but just people in general that want something better, that are dreamers, that are looking for more in life. They want to believe these folks. And when they do, they're often disappointed, because what's there is just a false shadow. It is a house of cards. It's just what's presented online. And we've seen video breakdown of people that go out and rent the cars or rent the house, or they're using somebody else's vehicle or things like that to promote themselves. Because that's exciting, that's flashy, that's what gets that dopamine and that serotonin running, and it gets you want to spend some money. And when all is said and done and the curtain's pulled back, well, there's nothing there. Their whole business was just to bring money in, and they don't actually have anything to show for it. So how are you going to identify these folks? How are you going to be able to tell what you need to do? And how are you going to keep yourself from being disappointed? Well, the first thing is, you're never going to totally not be disappointed. And does that mean that everybody that's out there that's producing content is bad? No, that's not true either. There are a lot of us out there that produce real content, that try and share everything, thus the sounds going on in the background, the lack of perfection in my studio, in my recording studio right now. I'd like to show the good with the bad. When I'm struggling, I want to talk to you guys and tell you I'm struggling. And when I'm doing well, I want to talk to you and tell you when I'm doing well. I don't want to be something I'm not. When I set the mastermind up, the 750K mastermind, it came from me teaching my subcontractors how to be better businessmen, because they were incredibly good craftsmen, but they were bad businessmen. They didn't know how to scale. They didn't know how to grow their business. And the thing is, not everybody wants to do that either. So I started teaching them. How I learned to scale, so that they could make some more money, so they could take better care of their families, and then turn that into something so everybody can take better care of their families, and everybody that wants to can engage and grow. And it's based on real metrics. It's based on what you want, where you start, and where you grow from. And it grew from there. It became this association, this thing that not only applied to online, but in person. And online relationships got formed. In-person relationships got formed and strengthened. Service-based businesses grew, and people were more successful. Did have some students that started and didn't engage or didn't finish, and their businesses are not flourishing, or some of them not flourishing as much as they could. Not everybody who starts will finish. But then it moved into more than that, that there's executives out there that are using that framework to structure their business where they can escape and they can move on and do what they want to do with their life, because they built this large organization, but they didn't have the systems in place to be able to transform it. Same thing with personal coaching. Same thing with folks that are out there wanting to help other people. A lot of us need accountability. We need that level, and we need that mentorship. But how do you choose a mentor? How do you make sure somebody has what it takes to truly be a person of integrity? And it's not just a false sense of the word. It's usually pretty easy. One, they're consistent. You can go back through their social media pages, and while their opinions on certain things may have changed, their message usually does not change. The size of their business may have changed, but you can also find posts that were talking about them struggling and about them looking for answers, or about them going through some rather dark times in their life. And then you find posts about them going through good times in their life as well. So that's one thing that you can do. Another thing is, don't get pulled in by the smoke and mirrors and the flashiness of it. There are some of the really big guys out there that one minute they're all about real estate, and one minute they're all about restaurants, and then the next minute they're all about blue collar, and then the next minute they're all about handyman services, and then the next minute they're all about plumbers, and then they're all about electricians and whatever else happens to come up. All they're doing is taking their product and rebranding it with a different marketing approach. These people are marketers, they may not be who you're looking for. They might be who you're looking for. You might be a marketer and you might be going from there. And there's nothing wrong with effectively marketing your product, but do it consistently. And if you're looking for somebody to follow, make sure that you're choosing somebody that knows what the hell they're talking about. Make sure that you're choosing somebody that knows what they're doing. George Clason in The Richest Man in Babylon, one of the parables that he talks about is that you don't invest your money with somebody that doesn't know what they're doing. You wouldn't send a baker to go buy jewels for you. You give your money to a jeweler to go buy jewels for you. And that parable is very profound when it comes to online, because, if this guy was teaching real estate agents how to scale 6 months ago, and now he's teaching handymen how to scale, he's probably using the same product, because you can't get good at scaling a handyman business from a retail business unless you've actually done it or worked in that industry. I work with real estate agents. I've worked with real estate agents almost exclusively every day for 20 years through a handyman business. I can talk to you about how to sell in real estate. Can I talk to you about how to sell houses? No, but I can talk to you about how to sell yourselves and how to work with integrity, because that's the only agents that I work with. I can tell you how to scale a handyman business because I've done it more than once. I can tell you how to scale a janitorial business because I've done it more than once. I can tell you how to leave corporate America because I've done that more than once. All of these different things, all of these different histories are authentic, and they're there, and they're provable. They become your story. And if you want to find a mentor, you want to find a coach, you want to find somebody who's leading you, find somebody who's done what you want to do, or who has the background that you trust and the integrity that you trust to be able to scale and to move on. And then make sure that you click with them. You know what? They may have a big team. They may have a bunch of people in the background that are doing and helping them build their product, but they should still be available to you, at least on a small scale initially, to find out if there's somebody that you click with and there's somebody that you want to be aligned with. Because the worst thing in the world is to become aligned with somebody, to start working with them. And I know this from experience, to become enamored with the glamour that they put out there, and then be disappointed. They will let you down, remove you from their group after you paid for it. Maybe what they've sold you doesn't really work, or it can be found in a different place, or maybe they've got personal issues with other people because their ego got in the way of what they're actually trying to teach, all of which has happened to me recently. I had some folks actually go out and delete me because of my association with other people. Or it wasn't even my association with other people, it was my perceived association with other people. Another way to tell if somebody's operating from a level of integrity is they can handle criticism. Had one particular influencer to work with for a while, and they started a program that they were really not qualified to start. And I'm not going to go into a lot of details on that. Those of you that know my story know what I'm talking about. But they just, it would be the equivalent of a math teacher going to teach child labor in Lamaze classes. That's how far outside of the realm of what they were teaching was. And I called him out on it. I mentioned it to him, just a simple comment. It's like, you got to be kidding me. There's no way you're qualified to do this. And all of a sudden, I became the enemy and got deleted in every direction. And that's happened a couple of times, just either through talking to different people or forging friendships with people and moving forward from there. You know what? Nobody dictates to me, and nobody should dictate to you who you're friends with, who you work with, and who mentors you, who coaches you, and who you go into business with. Nobody should dictate that to you. Now, if you're married and you have a significant other, you know what? You two need to be making these decisions together. But still, anybody outside of there should not be indicating at all what you do. And if somebody can't handle criticism and reacts in just a seemingly over the top and violent way, and maybe not violence, not the right word, but an overly emotional response to just seemingly minor criticism or something that just doesn't make any sense, there's probably something there going on in the background that you don't know about. Or there's nothing there going on in the background and it's just an attempt to grab cash, which happens a lot, unfortunately. Make sure that the message is consistent. Make sure that your understanding of the message is clear, and make sure that you're working with these folks that are in alignment with you. And yet, yes, you can move ahead a lot faster by leveraging other people's experience. That's what the mastermind is for. That's what coaching groups are for. That's what one-on-one coaching is for. And I encourage all of you to figure out what your budget is for continuing education and use that. Now, you can use that for reading. You can use that for whatever, but you want to be associated with people that you want to be like, and you want to be a part of a dynamic and learning and growing team. But it has to be with integrity. And the way you have integrity is not by being perfect and not by appearing to be perfect. The way you show integrity, because you have integrity, is by being yourself, being authentic, being your most true self. If any of you guys out there that are listening have ever bumped into me on the street, or you follow me on any one of the different platforms, you know that I'm exactly the same in person as I am on here. There's no difference. There's no BS. If I'm struggling, if I'm having a hard time, I'm telling you guys we're struggling, we're having a hard time. Will I always go into details? No, because I'm not a whiny little bitch and want everybody to feel sorry for me. But still, you can tell something's going on. Hell, you can go look at the last 6 months of podcast episodes and know that there's been an incredible amount of stress going on this end. Plus, the content was more about struggle and about getting through than about winning and about being over the top and happy and excited. You know, you're going to have seasons. The one thing that's absolutely guaranteed in your life is that things will change. If you're having a great time and everything seems to be going well, it's going to change. And if you're down in the depths and in the ditches of just crap, that's going to change too. It's just a matter of getting through it. It's not permanent, and don't stop. Just keep going. So in order to decide who you're going to work with going forward, just give it some time. If they're really pushing you and don't want you hanging around them and engaging with them without paying or without purchasing, then you know what? Maybe they're not the right fit for you. Or on the other hand, maybe they have a small program or they have an inexpensive coaching group that's not a huge financial commitment, and you can grab onto that and see if the substance is behind what they are talking about. See if they're consistent. There's all kinds of different ways to do this. I give away a lot of free content. We've got links to my different books, which I give away for free because I want everybody to be able to get started on their own. Now, if you want to interact with me and get my time either one-on-one or as a group program, yeah, there's a fee for that because I have to be able to pay my bills and be able to live. And I think there's some value associated with the implementation of the information that is given for free. We need to be associated with people that care. And when you have some skin in the game, whether in my case it's time, whether in your case it's a financial investment, then you're more likely to interact and integrate and do what you need to do. Now, that being said, you can interact with me all you want in multiple different ways for free and get a hell of a lot of good content. And there's other influencers and other people out there that do the same thing, and that they just truly want to provide different value for people. And that's fine. You can do whatever level of interaction you want. It also depends on how quickly you want to be able to grow. Because when it comes down to it, when you're operating with a mentor of integrity and you're operating with somebody of integrity, then they're going to be able to help you in a specific manner much, much faster than taking the aggregated general information that's out there and attempting to implement it all at the same time. It's almost like we do a search for any one particular thing. I recently did this with some marketing. Did a search, and I was so overwhelmed with all the ads and the BS and the DMs and everything it was showing me online that it became impossible to make any kind of an informed decision at all. So I had to go find somebody who knew what the heck they were talking about that I trusted and have them help me with that decision so that I could make a decision that was best for me. That's okay too. Maybe that's a one-time thing. In my case, it was a one-time thing, and then we developed a relationship from there because I realized they were better at what I was attempting to do than I was. Did I really have a budget for it at that time? No, not particularly, but that's beside the point. I needed the work in order to be able to fund the budget. So things tend to find a way, and they tend to work out as you move forward. You don't have to associate with people that don't have integrity. And there's one more piece of this is if you're going to invest your money, and this goes back to that quote from Clayson, because what ultimately ends up happening is you associate with these different groups of people. And as you all become more successful, you want to do business with people that you like. So now is time to be absolutely critical and skeptical of everything. If you're going to invest money with somebody, then you need to make sure they know what they're doing, make sure they're a person of integrity, and make sure you have some kind of a contract that talks about what's going to happen if you lose it. You can't mitigate all risk in investments. You just can't do that. It's impossible. But you can mitigate as much as possible so that somebody doesn't end up ghosting you, disappearing on you, and still pretending to be somebody they're not and doing the same thing over and over and over again to different people, which happens, unfortunately, a lot. There's always been snake oil salesmen. There always will be snake oil salesmen. It's up to you to be able to decide who they are and then either engage with them or not engage with them. The next episode of the podcast is going to be about defining rules of engagement, both in relationships and business. I want to encourage you guys to tune into that one. We have some links in below. I'm going to clean out a lot of that stuff. If you don't know where I'm at on the socials, shoot me a message here and I'll make sure that you get that link. I've got links to 2 of my lead magnets. And yes, they are lead magnets. They are designed to help you engage with me in multiple different ways. So they're free. Any Idiot with a Hammer, which is a true handyman goal book. Basically, I took funny stories from myself and my business over the years and put them beside how to set real goals and how to hold yourself accountable while you do it. That's Any Idiot with a Hammer. Then I've got Momentum Matters, which is how to keep yourself going even when you don't feel like it. Both of them are absolutely free, and they're something that you can start immediately. Those 2 links are going to be in below. As always, if you want more of my content, please share this with other people. We don't do advertising on here. I want to make sure that this is available for everybody and that we can grow together moving forward. So like, subscribe, share it with somebody that you know, and please give me a comment. Let me know what you think. If you like it, great. If you don't like it, that's fine too. I'm a big guy. I can take criticism. I'm trying to be hateful. Hateful tends to blow other people out and doesn't really do any good. But if you have a constructive comment that you disagree on something I said, man, let me know what it is. I think we can have a good, awesome discussion like that. I don't think everybody has to get along all the time. So until next time, guys, love y'all. And remember, don't let other people steal your dream because they don't have integrity. It's up to you to maintain your own. Love y'all. Peace.